Welcome to Metaphysical Soul Speak, the podcast. I'm your host, Elena Fox. Hey guys, I hope you're doing really well in this moment in time. And that whenever and wherever you happen to be in this universe of sonic energies, I hope that you are able to discern and hear the still small voice within, the voice of Prime Creator or the voice of God. Now, I've gotten some questions from some of you recently asking me specifically, what does it feel like? Where do you hear it from? And what does it sound like when you hear the voice of God? And how do you discern it from your own inner voice or inner dialogue? How do you discern it from other voices or also entities just messing with you? So I'm going to answer those questions publicly because I think a lot of you have the same questions. You know, when you're trying so hard to open up your third eye, you're trying to open up all your chakras, you're trying to be on the spiritual path, you want to know what's right for you, and a lot of times you don't really know what to listen for or what it sounds like. A lot of times before you get on the spiritual path, people will talk about the big booming voice of God, like a big, I am your God, a type of energy coming from the sky, booming down, like maybe his face appears in the clouds and it covers the whole sky or something like that. And we're not like ants in a terrarium, although to God we could be, but it's not like that. That's not how it happens. God is inside you. You are a spark of the great divine. The source energy created you, and so from himself, herself, however you want to say it. And therefore, the voice of God can be heard inside of your body from every cell, possibly. But where do I hear it? I hear the voice of God in my right ear sometimes, but mostly from like around my pineal gland or inside my heart area. And it's all the voice of God. And is it a different voice than mine? Not really. But it has a different energy than when it's just me thinking to myself. And because I have always said I would like to be connected to Prime Creator, the one who created me, God, the God of all gods, because I say these things, I'm constantly connected with God. And so I hear my own thoughts and I hear God's thoughts. And even though I do hear them in a small little voice, not like a little kid's voice like this, nothing like that. I hear God's voice that literally sounds like my own voice, sounds like my own inner dialogue, but there's a quality to the messages. There's a quality to the dialogue. It's not anything that I was consciously thinking about. It just pops in. And it's not words I would normally use. It's still, I hear it or discern it in my own voice, but it's not me. And it's not a very loud, booming voice. It's very quiet, sometimes almost like a whisper. especially in the beginning, because God does not want to scare you. God's not trying to say, hey, you, listen up. I'm going to tell you how it is. Because we have free will. We have free choice in everything. And because we have free choice and free will in everything, God doesn't want to be an intruder in our lives, even though we're part of God. We are living our lives usually asleep, and God is just experiencing through our physical bodies in a very quiet way. It's only when we meditate and we stop to listen and we stop to think, maybe, just maybe, we want to hear the voice of God. And then we start asking. We'll start meditating at first, and then at first we're scared. I don't know about you guys, but I know I was scared at the thought of this in the beginning, because I was taught from the Christian background that I come from. I'm not Christian. Not now. I'm not religious, really. My religion, I did convert to Islam, but I'm mostly a spiritual person. And I kind of follow my own, not even my own, I just follow God, like, directly. Because I'm hearing him all the time now. But at first, because of the Christian background growing up, I felt really scared a little bit to talk to God. Like, I felt like maybe, I was told that Jesus is the intermediary. He's like the mediator between you and God. Like, if you make God angry, he'll be like the one to smooth over God's feathers, his ruffled feathers, as if he has, God himself is not an angel. He could, if he wanted to, have feathers, but so I've been feeling like, most of my life I had been feeling that I love God, and I was talking to God all the time, but I was also afraid of God. Because they say you have to be God-fearing. You have to be afraid. And the thing is, when you fear God, when you're afraid of God, that fear, it translates into a block to love. So how are you supposed to equally fear and love God? I think that's a nice insight. I just think that might be why we end up in so many shitty relationships. We confuse fear with love. We get into really bad or abusive relationships where we're afraid of our partner and we believe that's love, because we're taught that we're supposed to equally love and fear God. I don't know if that's true. Let me know if that rings true for you. If you're like, oh my God, woo, inside. Because now we got to let go of that fear and only cling to the love, because that's all there is. And I don't mean cling to your love, in a needy way, but just the idea of love, that's all we need. That's the only life raft we've got, really, is our own love inside us. And if we're utilizing it correctly, and basically by tapping into it, like it's possible, you've got the love inside you, but it's possible you're not even tapping into it. And that makes it really, hard to live your life. You think you love, oh, I love this pizza. Oh, I love you, honey. A lot of people go through their lives very shallow, not in touch with that love. And sometimes it takes something really deep and moving to get us to jolt out of that numbness that we feel, especially when we're confusing fear with love. And I always felt the ability to love, or at least I thought so, and I loved people, but I was never in love until I met my husband, who was the father of my children. And that was the first time I ever felt that I'm actually in love with you. Like, it just felt totally different, way different energy. And I thought I'll never find a greater energy or greater love than that, until my daughter was born, and then I loved her a lot more. She opened my heart a million sizes that day. Like, wow, it just really changes you. And then my son was born, and it was double. He grew my heart a million sizes also. So my heart is huge. I have the ability to love greatly. And it wasn't until those 3 things, marrying my husband and then having my 2 kids, those 3 things really, really opened me up. Now, I loved, but not that deep, not that profoundly. And after a love like that, you just don't go back to, fuckboy shit. You just don't. There's no interest. I have no interest in just messing around people I meet at a club or something. It's weird that some people never get past that very shallow version. It's not even love, really. It's but no one that I've met here in this country has had the experience of that deep, profound love. So I wonder if it's very rare or if I'm just meeting the shallow people. I don't know. It's weird that people aren't diving into those profound waters of that deep, powerful love. But you've got to let go of the fear. And once you get let go of the fear, that love comes. You have to sometimes walk yourself through it, talk yourself through it. So I'm going to give you an example like I do. So, for example, you want to love God. So the first thing maybe is to say, imagine your most favorite pet you've ever had. So my example would, of course, be Knowledge Ravenspell. She's my cat now. I love her very much. I've had cats in the past that I loved very much. In fact, she is a reincarnation of one of the cats I had in the past. And she was my cat, Corrigan. She was a boy cat who would treat me like I was his child. And he would hold my face still and steady on my pillow. And he would lick the hell out of my face every single night. With that rough kitten tongue, he exfoliated my face every day. It was amazing. I was like, wow, I'm saving a ton on beauty products right now. Now I might have, cat food breath, but, all over my face. But it was pretty amazing. Now, she doesn't do that. I was shocked that she doesn't, because I know it's the same energy, the same spirit. And he and I were so close, and he was always hugging me. But he was not a feral cat. He was a house cat, and she's feral, so it's a little bit different. She's dealing with that energy as well, that wild child energy. But she sleeps on my pillow. She'll put her little head in my palm of my hand, and she bows to me, and she'll put her head on my face. But it's like I'm bowing to you and I'm honoring you. Usually she sleeps at my feet, which not on my feet, but just to the side of my feet, because that's also a sign of respect when cats sleep near your feet. And I don't know if it's a sign of respect when they sit on your head, but sometimes when she's mad at me, she does that. While I'm asleep, I'll wake up and she's sitting on my head. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? I'm like, stop disrespecting me. And then she'll purr, and then she'll curl into a little ball and cuddle with me. And I think it's just, she believes she's my protector, I believe. But there's that love there. I feel the powerful love. If I'm sending her, emitting to her energy of love, I really love you, she'll come and they'll double the love, triple the love, like instantly. And when that happens, I feel a greater connection to all things. And I feel a greater connection to just everything. And I start to realize that this is a love that is permeating throughout all of the things in God's creation. So that might be the first step, finding an animal that you connect with on that level that's very deep, realizing this is a creature that has chosen to be with you. They can leave their bodies easily if they don't want to be alive anymore. Like, they can just go, bye. They don't have the hang-ups that we do about death. And when they die, they just pop on out of their body and just run, hop, skip, jump away. They don't, they go into a field of flowers, I think, surrounded by mountains. That's the image that I get when I think about it. And they're happy. They're just like, whatever. See you later. All right. Maybe I'll come around again. Like, they're not, they know that they're with us for a little while, and then they leave. And then they're with us again, maybe. And then they leave. They know they're never gonna be away from us fully forever. So animals aren't even afraid. It's weird how we're afraid, actually. But anyway, if you think about your beautiful animal and you think about how much you love them, and then maybe you translate that to how much you like flowers and mountains and the sky and the ocean and the forest and the jungle and all the different landscapes, you know, or maybe you're in a specific landscape that you absolutely love. And then you think about how much you love, you know, the house that you live in maybe, and you think about the hands that built it, and you think how much love this person had for the design of the house that you lived in. And maybe it's the architect, or maybe it's your grandfather, or you know, it's someone who built this house with love, and you feel the love in the walls, maybe. If not, think about a place that maybe resembles that for you. If you live in an apartment building, maybe not so much. Obviously, if you live in a tent, same thing. But if you live in, you know, a house that's like maybe a family heirloom house, or, you know, like I have a house in Detroit, and my family didn't build it, I bought it, you know. But it's an old house, and I feel the love of the people who lived there, and I feel the love of the person who built the house for his family, and how proud he was that he was able to provide, and that energy of I am a good provider type of, you know, pride. And it was because he loved his family so much, and I felt that energy. So you could find the love for your pet and then allow that to permeate other things that you think about. You know, I love this park. I love these trees. God created them so that he knew eventually I would sit under this tree. I love God so much because of that he created the nature. He created the person who created the house, who lived in the house, and all the people lived there for 100 years. And then they left because it was time for me to share in the energy and the joy and the glory of the love that was inside this house. So that's how I walk myself through it sometimes. You know, if I am not feeling particularly in touch with it, some things will keep you away from your feelings. Certain medications might close you off, might close your heart off. Smoking cigarettes closes off your heart chakra, so it's hard to feel love if you smoke cigarettes. Although marijuana seems to open you up. It could go either way, and especially if you eat it, it seems like it works a little bit better. If you microdose, you might be able to be a little bit more in touch with the love. Cocaine and harder drugs definitely cut you off, cut your heart chakra off. So it takes a long time to be able to feel that love again. And so it's important to stay away from these things, and also just constantly bask in the glow of that love, right? That's the first step to hearing the voice of God, okay? So once you get into the love, you know, energy, and you love yourself, that's another thing. You got to self-love. You can't be self-loathing and then feel loving towards everybody else, but thinking that you don't deserve love. You have to start with yourself. You start with God, you start with your pet, but then translate it to yourself. Like, you know, instead of longing for somebody to touch your face gently and tenderly when you're in bed, and you just long for someone else to do that for yourself. You know, stroke your own hair out of your face and try to feel for yourself the way you would feel for somebody else if they did that for you. You know, how would you feel if somebody bought you flowers? Well, then do that for yourself and love yourself in the same way you would love, you know, the way that you translate that to somebody else, transmit that love back to yourself instead. You know, so if you go through all the ways in which you wish someone would love you, and then love yourself in those ways, and love yourself, love God, love the area, love the landscape, love your pets. You know, if you have a baby, you love that baby, you love your spouse, whatever it is, you know, whatever circumstance you're in, you know, love, just find a way to tap into the love. Find a way to expand that love. Find a way to translate that love to all things around you. Find a way to translate it through the plasma in the air, the ether. Find a way to transmit it throughout your body. Reverberate that love throughout every cell. These are the first steps to preparing yourself to being able to hear the voice of God. So obviously trying to decalcify your pineal gland, trying to get your like stop fluoride toothpaste. There's plenty of choices that don't have fluoride in them. Stay away from fluoride. There, you can go check it out, for yourself. But these are all steps. So meditating, developing your intuition, just focusing on your heart chakra and nothing else. You can look into your third eye with your eyes closed. You keep your eyes slightly open and focused upward toward the center of your forehead, just slightly above your eyebrows, right there in the middle. You just focus there. And when you focus there, at the same time, feel the love inside your heart and feel it expand out like a big sunshine, like the heat and light from 1,000 suns. Just imagine that's radiating outwardly. The 8/8 portal, the Lion's Gate portal's coming up, Leo energy. And which I'm so excited about because my little fur baby, she's a Leo. Her little birthday's coming up. It's so exciting. I already bought her gift, but I don't know. I might come up with something special to feed her. But anyway, this energy is coming up, and this might actually be a helpful time on 8/8, on August 8th. Might be a helpful time for you to expand your love even more. But try it now. Don't just wait till then. Just try every day, a few minutes every day, to really focus on only love and nothing else. And then you ask, God, please speak to me. Goddess, please speak to me. Great Spirit, Allah, Jah, Yahweh, Ra, whatever you want to call the Prime Creator or the Source Energy. Prime Creator, please speak to me. And please allow me to hear your voice. And then you stay quiet. You don't say anything. You just focus on the love, focus on the expansion, focus on your connection to all things around you. How much you love hearing the birds in the morning. Focus on sending love to the birds, sending love to your grandmother, sending love to all of your relatives in heaven who have gone on before you. You just love. I love this chocolate cake. I love these roses. I love these candles. I'm so grateful for fire. I'm so grateful for this. Love. You just focus on those things. You don't have to say them out loud or list them off like I just did, but you can focus on all the things that are outside of you that you love, but then translate the love inside your heart and go back and focus and then put that love back into you. And every day you ask. Like I've said with so many other things, be the squeaky wheel that gets the grease. God, I want to hear your voice. God, let me hear your voice. God, allow me to hear your voice clearly and discern it from other voices. Allow me to tune into you and only you. Only your voice will do. God. Or whatever. Great Spirit. Source. Universe. Whatever it is, reverberate that throughout your whole body. And just keep going. And one of you did start to hear God's voice yesterday. That's why I'm bringing it up, because he started asking me all these questions. Did you, when you started hearing God's voice, what was it like? Was it your own voice? Because I'm feeling confused. And it's like saying things I wouldn't say, but it's in my voice. I literally hear it inside my head, inside my voice. Yeah, sometimes you hear it in your head. Sometimes it's a whisper in your right ear. Usually the whispers in your right ear, I believe, are your holy guardian angels, or maybe other archangels. But God is in your heart. God is in your head and in your heart. Those are at least the places where I've heard the voice come from. And it's very quiet. It's not small like a small person. It's your voice, but it's very quiet. It gets like, hello. So you're like, God, talk to me, please. And then you hear, hello, what do you want? I'm here. I've got you. What do you need? It's just like that. It's very calm, very sweet, very tranquil, but it's in your own voice. So anyway, I hope that helps. I wanted to bring that up. I'm going to get my glasses on here. I need the cheaters. I wanted to read to you guys the Naga healing guidance. It just came out. She just published this. It said, 17 minutes ago. It's probably now been about 40 minutes ago. So these are the brand new Ascension symptoms. just pay attention to if you have them during the weekend. Don't panic. You're probably okay. Go to a doctor if you believe that maybe it's something more for you than an Ascension symptom. Don't be a hero. Don't say it's just that. If you have a heart attack or something, I don't want you to blame it on me and say, well, I thought it was an Ascension symptom. Definitely go to the hospital or the doctor if you believe it's something powerfully and profoundly wrong. But anyway, the current energy update by Naga Josephina, which is Naga Healing Guidance. She says, these energies may have you saying, what's going on? They're very changeable energies, bringing lots of upgrades that can be exhausting. The energies have been quite calm on and off, but you might feel emotional, physically overwhelmed by the integration of the energies, feeling a need to move or exercise, or just to sit with yourself. You might want to stay still and suddenly go blank-minded, feeling the energy swirling in your root chakra, sacral chakra, and heart chakras, or be guided to dedicate more time into your meditation. Which, it's funny she said that because I've been thinking about it more too. And when I go to bed, that's all I do is I make it a meditation to fall asleep. While some souls are choosing to leave now, others seem to be going through a heavy phase. Both things, plus the clearing of the third eye and sacral chakra, is happening right now. Most chakras are symptomatic and upgrading, especially the heart, the throat, and the sacral chakra. So you might be feeling fatigued or get dizzy when you suddenly move. Those with autoimmune diseases might be experiencing changes. Other symptoms include burning sensation, hello darling, on parts of the butt or parts of your body. You might be feeling anxiety, nervousness, coughing, itchy throat, changes in your voice or hoarse voice, phlegm, superficial breathing, lack of hunger, or closed off stomach. So that's what she says. She also says the collective is full of a combination of sexual energy and root chakra activation. Many have been guided to change food habits or listen more closely to what food and drinks work best for them. That's funny she says that because I've been craving red wine all day. So funny. I'm a wino, whatever. I haven't had wine in a while, though. I wish I was richer so I could actually have wine every day. Anyway, while the body integrates all the energy, you might find that you're slow to react or simply to think, process information, write, type, or even speak properly. You might go blank-minded and or feel need to stay still, just staring into nowhere. This is normal. Is it now? Wow, I've been normal my whole life. Go figure. It's like my body switches off and my mind goes off into other realms, and then I come back like, what the hell happened? Hey, it's normal. What you doing, baby girl? Are you home now? I'm so happy to see you. Now she's ignoring me a little bit. She's been outside. The door's open. She walked in to be a part of the show. Hope you guys were able to hear Miss Knowledge Ravenspell. She's been a sweet girl all day. All right. She also says here, keep in mind you can't change others, and the only way to lead is by example. Observing everything that exists is essential right now. Otherwise, you will start to get stuck on lower polarized timelines. So, yeah, don't get stuck on the us versus them, or what are they doing to us with this, and how are they trying to control us with that? Like, all that shit is anti-unity. So let's just focus on love, unity, not an us versus them, or the evil versus the good, or, don't focus on any of that crap. So it says more symptoms than described are possible, obviously. So that's true. A lot of you have been contacting me recently, and you're saying you're having ear ringing. Sometimes it's chakras. The little tiny ear chakras are ringing in both ears. Mostly, though, the right ear has been ringing for a lot of you, especially those of you who are opening up your third eye and also getting into that intuition more, as well as starting to hear the voice of God. And a lot of you told me that you're feeling the burning, itchy sensations throughout the body, and mostly like the burning, like hot spots. in different parts of your body, as well as glitches. And one of you wrote me, or actually sent me, a voice message saying, you're not going to believe this, but right when you said electronic glitches, your podcast absolutely stopped. And it was the freakiest thing. And then she said also, walking down the street, you'll say a number on your podcast and there it goes by on, like I'll see that number. It'll just crop up on the license plate of a car, or on the side of a taxi, or I look up on the wall right when you said the word God, it says in giant letters in graffiti, G-O-D. So a lot of you are having these synchronistic things happening, which is quite cool, quite exciting actually, and I'm very happy for you. It means that we are all in the flow and we're all in it together, and I'm really grateful that we're on the journey together and we're sharing the knowledge between us. So it is what it is. Let's see what else is going on. My neighbors moved out completely. Like a thief in the night, they were gone. It was so trippy. Like the neighbor who I really liked, and then he brought his girlfriend, and apparently she can't travel alone with her child, so she had to bring her cousin, her male cousin, who was kind of stalkerish and rapey. Like he wasn't he wasn't physically aggressive with me. He wasn't really weird, like an actual rapist or anything, but he was so creepy and touchy-feely and weird. Like, he knew me all of an hour and asked me to be his girlfriend, and then 2 days later asked me if he could move into my house. And he opened my door and he's like putting his head inside my apartment, looking around at all my things, and like, I want to live here with you. You live here alone, right? And I'm like, it doesn't mean I want a stranger to come and live with me, dude. And then he said, come on, be my girlfriend. He kept trying to push me, kept trying to hug me, and kept trying to kiss me, and he kept touching my chin or my cheek. It was touches that we all long for, but when it's a stranger randomly, it's like weird. It wasn't that he wasn't attractive or whatever, but his forcing that shit on me was not attractive. It was like the opposite effect, and it gave me the creeps, and I started altering my schedule so that I'm sleeping all freaking day and I'm only up for a couple hours, and then they go to bed and then I do my show. And that's why my show's been late most of the week. Sorry about that for those of you who rely on the timing of my show to come out by midnight California time. That's usually when I try to make it. Between midnight and 1 a.m. is my personal deadline for the show, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it at all. So finally, the landlord asked me what was going on with the people, what do I think? Because he respects my opinion. And I'm like, well, the main guy is really cool. His wife, or, girlfriend, and, her son, they're all very sweet people. And the other guy is sweet too, and he's very polite, but at the same time, he's got this weird rapey vibe where I'm starting to feel unsafe. Like every day, he's like trying to do a favor for me, and then trying to get a hug out of me, and trying to turn that into a kiss and a caress that I did not ask for and don't want, and then trying to turn that into a relationship and an instant living with you situation. It was like weird. It was like Red Flagsville all up in here. And they kept making hand washing the laundry and hanging it up in front of my view, and they have plenty of space where they could have just added a second laundry line. And instead it was like, no, we're going to make it about blocking my view. And then, then the one guy kept walking back and forth in front of my thing and looking all butthurt and staring in at me. It was like so freaking terrible. And finally, the guy, the neighbor, came over and he apologized and he gave me a hug, which was a welcome hug. He was very sweet. And he said, he grew up in New York. He's like, my family, the men in my family, we've always been trained and taught how to love and respect women. We don't objectify women. He's like, I'm a really good man that way, and I'm not going to allow that. I don't stand for that. So this guy's gone. He's just as good as gone. 36 hours, he's the hell out the door. It's over. And But I didn't know that the whole family, everyone picked up and left in the middle of the night. It was crazy. It's the craziest thing. Now it's like, and he said he's coming back. He left some dishes here. But we're like, I don't know. Is he a drifter? Is he never, ever, ever coming back? I'll come back in 7 to 10 days. That was kind of weird. He took everything he owned, which wasn't a lot, but he had like a tent and, you know, surfboards and stuff. And he took everything with him. Although if you're a surfer and you're going to another surf city, of course, you're going to take that with you. But it was weird. I don't know. The energy for the past 10 days, that's what it's been for me. Like, what the hell? Why is this guy staring at me? What the hell? Why is this guy, you know, what is happening? It was one of the weirdest things. And I'm glad that all of that's over. The weird drama. I mean, it all started a week ago, like 8 days ago on Friday is when I met this guy, when he showed up. And it was like, I don't know. He was like, hey, I'll walk you to the pizza parlor. I'm like, okay, cool. You know, hey, I have someone to talk to. That's kind of nice. You know, and then it got weird and weirder still. You don't stare at a woman's boobs and say, can you be my girlfriend? It's just not, that's not cool, dude. That is just so, I'm like, and I told him, like, you don't have to banish him. You just take him, you know, aside and go, this is how you're supposed to treat a woman. This is what you're supposed to do. This is how you get what you want, you know, which is, i.e., a relationship, or, you know, these are the steps you need to take, you know. I feel like there's not enough training. I could probably teach classes in this, you know, because there's so many men that say the same thing in this culture. It's like, you know, that is the biggest turnoff in the world. You know, you like chips, I like chips. Ooh, I see you eat Snickers. We have so much in common. It's like, that's not something in common. Everyone in the world likes Snickers except people with peanut allergies. Like, God, leave me alone. And diabetics, right? Although diabetics always love candy. You know, obviously, right? It's the one thing you're told you can't have. It's the thing you want the most, usually. My mom was a diabetic, so I know that. Like, she was always like, I'm going to go have candy, you know? I'm going to have a piece of cake. It's like, Mom, watch your blood sugar, damn it. Oh, it was so scary. But anyway, so my week was really freaking weird. The energy was crazy. So I'm hoping that next week I will be able to get the show out on time a lot more often. I had so much anxiety, guys. I don't know if it came through. I tried to do a meditation before every show I did also. But I just had so much anxiety, like, holy moly. It's like this guy would give me these smoldering, burning looks, like a yearning for me, but is only in a sexually lustful way. And then also the energy was being butthurt that I said no. And I told him I have another man that I'm waiting for, so no, sorry. You know, and he just wouldn't take no for an answer. And that's the rapey part was just, he didn't go, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you're part of a couple. I'm so sorry. My bad. Now we could be buddies. We could be friends. And he never, like, translated the idea of that. So, I don't know. God, that was like the weirdest. I mean, speaking of root chakra and sexual energy and sacral energy, and it was just, bleh. So I had to deal with that. I don't know if that cleared me or did anything for me. And God's like saying, no, it didn't. It just like put me off track for 8 days. Like, what the hell, man? I mean, like, it was so weird and creepy. Like the next day when I was eating my pizza, he came and put his head up against my screen door and said, oh, like all of it in Spanish, but he says, oh, I see you're eating your pizza now. It's like, why the fuck is this asshole watching me eat pizza? Do I have to go into my bedroom to eat my pizza so he's not going to notice it and stare at me eating the pizza, staring at my lips, staring at the pizza, acting like a lost little puppy dog wanting to eat the pizza and also me? You know? Like, oh my good God, it was so crazy. But it's even weirder that they all left in the middle of the night. You know, it was almost like the deal breaker is the cousin that you want awkwardly and third wheelie. He was like a third wheel, totally, you know. It's like a couple and their child, and then this random guy, it was her cousin, but still, he wasn't random to them. He was random to me. I don't know. Just the whole situation was odd. Odd. I don't know. I mean, I kind of hope the other guy comes back and, that'd be cool, because he wasn't a bad guy. It's just that I don't want, don't bring your whole freaking family. It's a 1-bedroom apartment. It's very small. It's like a 600 square foot apartment. So that was even weirder. Like his whole living room was a tent with this rando guy in. Oh my God. So weird things like that. That's awkward and weird. I don't know if the awkward energy is Ascension symptom or not, but it was weird for me. So I don't know if I was influenced in the way that a lot of you were influenced with the strange dreams. For me, I was up all night just trying to avoid these people. And then at 6 a.m, I would go to bed. And then I try to sleep until 2 p.m. because that way I can avoid them. And then they go surfing in the afternoon. So now I have another 2 or 3 hours where I'm not going to be stared at every time I eat with someone commenting on what I'm eating and commenting on what I'm watching on TV. And oh my effing God, it was just too much. It was just, I felt like I was in a fucking zoo. I'm in a human zoo, dude. It's so crazy. I really need curtains. That's everything. I really need to get curtains. But usually it's not an issue because no one's even looking over here. But God. But a lot of you have told me that you've had really intense dreams, even like of unicorns and walking on clouds, like beautiful, intense, amazing dreams that are just like, whoa, and shape-shifting animals and intense, powerful spiritual messages and things that feel real, like being on a spaceship, being with the Pleiadians or the Galactic Federation or all kinds of stuff, all kinds of crazy dreams, dreams that you're going to, heaven and talking to your grandmother and stuff, those kinds of dreams, like really trippy, amazing, cool dreams that stay with you and they have like a bite to them, like you're tasting that energy, you're feeling that energy throughout your body, throughout your heart chakra might be affected like for a week later, you're still like, that dream really hit me in a deep way. And that's the kind of dreams that started happening for a lot of you in the past several days. For me, I wasn't sleeping very well. And when I was, I think I was just out like a light, like just gone. But I've hopped timelines. That's another thing. I keep raising my vibration and something weird happened yesterday. This is another matrix glitch thing. I lit some incense, and when it was about halfway done, I hopped a timeline, and the incense was out. And this was an offering I made to God, it was a prayer offering, and you can light incense, and the smoke carries your prayers to heaven. Is the idea of it. Even though your prayers are instantly heard, you don't need outward smoke. You don't need anything outside of yourself, but so I like to light incense. It's a nice metaphor. So I light it and I hop timelines and it's out. I'm like, did I stop my own blessing by stopping the incense? And God's like, no, I guess on the other timeline it's still burning. So that was frickin' weird because I have my black salt, which is it's literally a witch's black salt, and I have because I live at the beach, it attracts moisture from the air. The other salt in the air makes it bind somehow. So it gets kind of weird and gooey. So I have the black salt covered in rice. So it's not weird and gooey. And so it's all very, very weird. But, and now it's got all kinds of ash from my incense in it. But that was weird. Like I would never stop an incense stick halfway down. Like, number one, how freaking cheap is the body I just hopped into? Did I have to save it? You have to save half of an incense stick for later? What the hell was I thinking? Maybe I was just put it out because I thought I was gonna take a nap or something, but I hopped a timeline and it's out, and I'm like, was it the incense? God's like, no, it was you. You just hopped a timeline and you had put it out from before. I'm like, that is It's weird. I mean, maybe I was still going through the same weirdness with these people, and didn't want them to know anything I was doing. Like maybe I was more paranoid. I don't know. But every time you hop a timeline up, and I know I hopped one up, muscle testing says yes, you hop to a timeline that's 2.5% better. Now something happened that made me realize that sometimes you hop to a world that's better, but it has nothing to do with you at all. And I remember when I was in high school in 1986, right before I graduated high school, I went to this weird conference. I don't know if everybody went. Oh no, it was the girls' conference. We went, just some of the girls in my high school. There's only 6 of us in my class, so we all went on a girls' I guess it was a French club. No, what was it? I don't know what it was. We went on a trip to Minneapolis though, and it wasn't all the boys. It was just the girls. You know, when we're all teenagers, so technically we were boys and girls. And we went to like these museums, we did all this stuff, but I remember going to a conference in 1986, and I remember them talking about Lotus, and they're talking about Lotus 123, and it was the new one, and they were going to teach a class on how to use it. And I just had a conversation with my landlord, and he was telling me about Lotus 123, and it brought that memory to my mind. Like, when was that? And he said, no, that didn't happen until 1994. I'm like, no, I was not even an adult yet. And he's like, no, it was 1994. And I'm like, but I graduated college with my bachelor's degree in 1994. So I know that's not the year it happened, because I was still a teenager when Lotus 123 came out. And then I realized, well, yeah, I've hopped like 20-something timelines, 25 timelines in the past, 26 timelines in the past. God's, I just hopped another one today. So 26 timelines in 2 weeks. So if everything improves a little bit better, so Lotus 123, instead of coming out in 1994, came out in 1986. Is that better? I don't know. Or, I mean, the vice versa. Is it better that it came out later? I don't know. It's kind of weird. But other things in the world are affected every time you hop. It's not that you're affecting the rest of the things in the world. It's just that things are slightly different in general. And so it's not going to be an idea in your world. It's not like you're going to, although my eyes did change color back again to my green, which is weird. So I was on several timelines in a row in which I have gray eyes and blonde hair, strawberry blonde, but blonde-ish. And now my hair is back to more red and green eyes. Yay! I like my green eyes. I don't mind that they turned gray, but that was just weird. And maybe they're gray again because I hopped and I didn't look. It's like so weird. Anyway, I got bored last night of these ugly ass subfloors I'm looking at. And so I went ahead and painted fake rugs. One in front of the fridge and one just randomly on the floor. And the landlord saw it today. He's like, I don't give a shit. Paint all you want on the subfloor. It's not going to be a big deal. Because obviously, eventually, we're going to cover it up. He's like, but that's so creative. And how cool is that? I like your art. So I thought that was neat. I'm like, yeah, I got really bored. So I painted the floor. You know, most landlords would not be cool with that. But it's not an actual floor. It's a subfloor. So he knows it's not going to, you know, once he puts the hardwood floors, you're not going to see anything. But I made this little blue and gold rug and I drew little stars on it, and this other one is just copper and gold and pink and blue and kind of awkward looking, but hey, whatever. And I got some feathers out for Miss Ravenspell, and she's been playing with them all day, and then she went through my bags and I wasn't looking and got herself a white feather, which kind of freaked me out because I know I never gave her a white feather. Which is, I've been watching Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, and she works for White Feather and Associates, so that was also very weird. So still with the synchronicities, that was just very cool. So I wanted to let you guys know about that. I'm gonna get now though to the space weather stuff. I need to go get that pizza tonight. It's Friday night, and I'm not gonna have an awkward weird person with me getting the pizza. I'm gonna go. Maybe my new Argentinian friend and his daughter are there, and we can hang out and eat pizza together, because he's a pretty cool person. He speaks English, and he's like, well, you're here? I can't believe it. I never saw you. Like, I've been here 2 months. He's like, wow. He's like, well, I never leave the house, so sometimes I go to the bar and smoke weed, and I go to a pizza place every week. But he was just really cool, though. I'm like, wow, he just seemed like so fun to talk to. And this other guy that I was with, I felt like he was starting to stare the guy down, like, what the hell? And he started acting all and looking all butthurt even the pizza guy that ordered pizza from, he started acting butthurt, like, I like him more. And it's like, what the hell? Like, I was just ordering pizza from the guy, you know what I mean? It had nothing to do with anything. I know the guy's married with kids, which makes me completely uninterested. And it was just weird. I don't know. I'm glad that energy is gone. Like, whew, man, like a bad Santa Ana wind, and it just blew away. It blew over in a week. So anyway, solar wind speed right now, according to spaceweather.com, is 453.9 kilometers per second. And we are going to have this CME that will be missing us, but barely. So we might have the energy of that coming tomorrow. And the sun is blank right now with no sunspots whatsoever. And we are at a high level of cosmic radiation. According to the space age average, we're 8.1%, which is high. But it's gone down since yesterday. In fact, in the last 48 hours, it's gone down by 0.1%. And the aurora borealis looks like it might be touching above Minnesota soon. Minnesota and North Dakota looks like they might be able to see a little bit of aurora borealis. That's the bottom part of the current aurora oval arc. But if you'd love to see them, just go to, there's a lot of live streams or, repeat plays from the night before if you want to. It's just all on YouTube. I've seen many channels. But right now there are no current large coronal sols. Oh, lordy, I need some pizza. There are no current large coronal holes on the Earth's side of the sun. So, according to the All Sky Fireball Network and NASA's All Sky cameras, it looks like we don't really have anything new to report. I'm going to refresh the page. And if it doesn't refresh... Oh, yeah, no, it did refresh. Holy moly. 28 fireballs. 17 were sporadic. 5 are southern Delta Aquarids. 4 Perseids. 1 Alpha Capricornid. And 1 Psi Cassiopeid. Wow. Looks like a very messy ball of string, this little cartoon picture of the fireball's trajectories. Very, very cool. So actually, we've gone up by 0.2% in the past 48 hours of the neutron counts. And we're at 8.4% of the space age average. So actually, we've gone up. That's very interesting. That just updated right now, which is cool. Solar wind speed is now 473.8 kilometers per second. So it's gone up, which means I think we're going to get it tomorrow, even though they think we're not. Schumann Resonance news today, coming from Italy. It's 15. That's it. Not that big of a deal. There's one solid spiked pillar all the way across the board, but it's still just 15. Not a whole lot going on. We do have Heart Math Institute back online again. I wanted to mention before we get into the most recent numbers, at the midnight hour on Friday, July 23rd, they, in Alberta, Canada, they were at 461. I think I might have mentioned it already in the week, but so I don't know, 8 days ago, where were you guys in Alberta? Did you feel something different? I have a friend who's in that area, and she's the one that I asked, please pray for her yesterday. Keep your prayers up for her and her family as they move and transition to a better place to live, because where they were was unsafe energetically. People were throwing stuff at them from a psychic level. So please, protection to my friend in Canada. All right, so anyway, Wednesday at the 2300 hour on the 28th of July, this is where we're at Schumann Resonance news-wise. California was at 112 hertz frequency. Hafuf, Saudi Arabia, 94 hertz frequency. Lithuania was at 209 hertz frequency, and Alberta, Canada has come down to 235 hertz frequency. 76 hertz frequency is what they had in Northland, New Zealand. And last but not least, 101 is what they had in Hulului, South Africa. It makes me think of K-Earth 101. That's a radio station I listened to with my mom when I was just really like learning how to walk, like 52 years ago, something like that. I was in love with this radio station back when they were playing normal music from the normal days. And then as the time progressed, they became the oldies station and continued to play the same records that they played when I was a kid. And I'm like, it was almost like my wish came true that the music would never change. And they were still playing Rhinestone Cowboy, but, in the 80s and 90s, calling it the oldies music. Now they play 80s and 90s music because they play oldies. I don't think they play the super, super old ones, like from the 60s and 70s, but I cut my teeth on 60s rock. Anyway, so that's it for now. I'm going to take a quick break. When I come back, we're going to get into the Earth Changes Report and the weekly Weird World News right after this. Oh, there's something else I was going to mention before I go. I got to pause this for a minute and think about it. Oh, yeah. A lot of you have been seeing this turquoise thing falling from the sky. And one of you wrote me and said that like 3 or 4 of your friends saw the same thing in different parts of the world. So there have been more reports of that. I just looked and it's 55 minutes and 55 seconds in. Oh my God, here we go. Even more synchronicities, especially as I talk about that turquoise lights. And those are Pleiadians, letting you guys know they're getting ready to appear to us and come down. And they're preparing for first contact. They're really preparing. They're getting ready. Like, it's on, like Donkey Kong, very quickly. If you want to see them faster, let them know. Just say out loud wherever you are, in your room or outside, looking up at the sky. Either way, it doesn't matter. Pleiadians, I want to know you guys. Come on down, cousins. Let's talk. My space brothers. I want to learn all I can about you. Help me. And I absorb any energy you send my way so that I can raise up my vibration and lift myself up to your level so that I can talk to you and see you and know you, because it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be like a big family reunion. All right. So, oh yeah, that was the other thing. So 4:45 in the morning here, we had a marching band. 4:45 in the morning, walking just down the main street where I live, just loud as fuck. Like we're getting ready for the big high school football game. Loud marching band. 4:45 in the morning, and they walked through this town for an hour. And they quit about 6 a.m. in the morning. Can you believe that? I don't even know what to do about that. Now in the afternoon, they were playing again, so I think they were having a soccer game, and they were practicing for the soccer game. Why they can't practice at noon, I don't know. Why it has to be at 4:45 in the morning and wake everyone up in the whole town. I don't know why. But I bet you're super jealous of me, right? I get random fireworks and cannon booms, explosions throughout the night. And sometimes it's one firework and then 30 minutes later another one, so you can't sleep. And sometimes it's just like, fireworks for a good 10 minutes. And then an hour later, another fireworks show. And 3 or 4 hours later, another fireworks show. This is my life. So that's fun. I like the fireworks. But boy, that 4:45 in the morning, marching band. like a high school marching band. So anyway, anytime you want to complain about your life, think about the marching band at 4 a.m. What? Anyway, gonna take a quick break, guys, and I come back. Earth Changers Report on the weekly Weird World News right after this. All right, guys, I cannot get Alexa to work for anything. And I'm waiting for it to beep. No, it's not going to. Oh, Alexa, can you rap for us?
Big ups to Grace Hopper, showstopper, OG computer programmer, Navy battalion commander, went to Yale for mathematics, got a PhD, didn't retire from the Navy till she was 80. She invented the compiler, taught computers to read, was a teacher and mentor helping others succeed. Medals for freedom and technology, so hats off to Grace 'cause she's legendary.
And there you have it. Drop some props for Grace Hopper. Woo! Woman power, y'all. Alexa, can you talk like a pirate?
Ahoy, me hearties! How I love to perch atop the crow's nest and sing a sea shanty to me mateys.
All right, guys, why do I do the Earth Changes report every week? I do it so that we can learn more about ourselves and our ability to have compassion for other people that we don't know. So the more you love, the more it expands and radiates out, the more you can open the 11th chakra that you have. I know all these spiritual people just talk about 7 chakras. We actually have 12. Like our strands of DNA, once it reattaches, we have 12 strands. So not just 2. Scientists have discovered 3 people with 3 strands of DNA. That's like the first step. I think you connect the 3rd strand and then eventually the others. And a lot of times the others are in higher dimensions anyway, but that's not what we're talking about right now. But if you open up that 11th chakra beneath your feet, that is your chakra that gives you the ability to love everybody. That's like a compassion chakra, and it's below your feet a couple of feet. And if you allow love to be your foundation, you're going to get a lot farther, faster in the spiritual way. And that's what we are going for as we are trying to accelerate our spiritual growth rapidly in order to go up to the 5th dimension, because that is now available to us if we can make it. Some of us have probably already gone up there and are living the high life. I don't know what the hell they're doing, but they're probably up there doing something better. And we're trying to get there, which it's an energy, it's a vibration. What's a vibration? Love, unity, pure love. How do we get there? Praying for other people, caring, opening our hearts to those in need that need us to pray for them. So let's start by going to watchers.news. We're going to start with page 2, the things that were in the news a week ago, starting Saturday last week and ending tonight. So we're going to go through these now. The Watchers is a website, and the tagline for this website is watching the world evolve and transform. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So magma has been rising at the Great Sitkin volcano in Alaska. A lava dome-like feature formed in the summit crater, suggesting that magma is rising near the surface. As a result, the Alaskan Volcano Observatory has raised the aviation color code to orange, and the volcano alert level has been raised to watch. So watch, we definitely will be doing quite soon. A shallow 6.1 earthquake hits Kermadec Islands region, and the agency is reporting a depth of 6.8 miles or 11 kilometers. That is the USGS, and the EMSC is reporting a magnitude 6.0 at a depth of 1.2 miles or 2 kilometers. So those are vastly different, but it looks like there might have been 3 actually hit that area. The Kermadec, Kermadec. I've never heard of that. Let's send love and light and prayers to the people that might be living on those islands, because I don't know if they're inhabited or not. They might be. So we've been tracking Typhoon Infa, and it made landfall in Zhejiang, and it forced 1.5 million people to evacuate in China. Holy moly. Typhoon Infa made landfall in the Putuo district of the city of Zhejiang in China's eastern province of Zhejiang, and at the time of landfall, Infa had a maximum wind speed of 137 kilometers per hour, which is the same as 85 miles per hour, according to the Chinese authorities. Let's send love and light, calm energy, and just the energy of nice, warm welcome hugs. Just to send love to the people in those areas of China. A massive landslide in northern India was caught on video, and this massive landslide was caused by heavy rains that hit Kannaur district in the Indian state of Himachal Pradesh on the 25th of July. It claimed the lives of 9 people and injured 3, and all of them were tourists from Delhi. And the video showed massive rocks tumbling down a mountain. That sounds really crazy. Let's send love and light and prayers to people, to the family who lost people in this event. Let's send love and light to India. All right, so now the next one. Heavy rain and widespread damaging winds expected across parts of Western Australia. And this is the latest in a month-long series of cold fronts to arrive in the southwest Western Australia region, and it will bring a range of severe weather to the most populated regions within the state. So they expect this is going to be windier than a typical front. So beware, batten down the hatches, Australians. It's going to be cold and windy down under. So let's send them love and light and calm energy to Australia. Widespread damaging and locally destructive winds, again with the winds, including potentially multiple small, fast-moving tornadoes in southern Australia. Well, yep, that will do it. That is much definitely heavier and faster winds than they normally get. So, yeah, that's crazy. Small and fast-moving tornadoes battered parts of southern Australia, causing significant tree and property damage across Adelaide, particularly the southern suburbs, according to the Australian Bureau of, I think this is weather. It cut it off, so sorry about that. Let's send love and light again to Australia. A very bright fireball over southern Norway, along with the hunt for meteorites, are now underway, of course. They're worth a lot of money. A very bright fireball entered Earth's atmosphere over the southern Norway region at the 2300 hour UTC time on the 24th of July. The event lasted for 5 seconds before the object disintegrated into a series of flashes. So that's why they're hunting for the meteorites. There's no prayers needed for that. I'm just kind of happy for them. I hope they get to find this stuff. That would be cool. Finding meteorites got to be a special feeling. I don't know. Strong and shallow 6.2 magnitude earthquake hits Sulawesi, Indonesia. And the USGS is reporting a depth of 10 kilometers or 6.2 miles. And the EMSC is reporting the same exact magnitude and depth. So let's send love and light, calming energy to the residents of Sulawesi, Indonesia. There was increased volcanic unrest at White Island and the alert level was raised to 2 in New Zealand. So the volcanic unrest has increased at Wakaari. White Island was sustained greater heat flow, not heart flow, maybe that too. We will extend our greater heart flow to them as they have volcanic gas changes, prompting GeoNet to raise the volcanic alert level to 2, and the aviation color code is raised to yellow. So there's still uncertainty about what is driving the unrest. So they're just having a cautionary stance. I would not go there though. If you're in that area, just kind of steer clear. Go do something else this weekend. Don't go there. Series of deadly crashes after a dust storm hit Utah. Whoa, that's crazy. At least 8 people have been killed and several others critically injured in a series of car crashes on Interstate 15 near Kenosha, Millard County, Utah, on the 25th of July, last Sunday. According to the Utah Department of Public Service, 22 vehicles were involved in crashes. That is crazy. Let's send love and light to the people who lost family members and all the people left behind, and the people that lost their cars. That's also sad. Let's just send love and light, calm energy to Utah. Maybe a little bit of gentle rain. Knock down all the dust out of the air. Severe sandstorm has engulfed China's Dunhuang city, and a severe sandstorm with dust clouds towering at least 100 meters or 330 feet high has now hit China's Dunhuang city on the 25th of July. A lot of things happening on the 25th of July. Actually, that is my friend Rusty Smith's birthday. Rusty, if you're listening, hey man, happy birthday. A little late. Dunhuang is located in the Gobi Desert, known for its harsh climate and living conditions. So, yeah. I don't know. Is anyone even living there? Probably. It's a city, right? So let's send love and light, calming energy, maybe a little bit of gentle rain. Although they've had so much rain there, I don't know. Let's just send love to China, all over China. They need it. Thousands of animals have perished. 1,500 people have been evacuated as massive wildfires ravage Sardinia, Italy. This is the southwestern portion of Sardinia, as 1,500 people have been forced to evacuate after devastating wildfires fueled strong hot winds that had rapidly spread throughout parts of the island over the weekend. So let's send them love and light and lots of gentle rain to Sardinia, Italy. A violent hailstorm hit northern Italy in the town of Fidenza, northwest of Parma, damaging hundreds of vehicles and bringing traffic on a highway between Milan and Napoli to a standstill, otherwise known as Milan and Naples. A number of people were injured, mainly from the glass shards from the cracked windshields and windows. Violent hailstorm. That's crazy. Let's send them love and light and warm sunshine, beautiful warm hugs and sunshine to northern Italy. Those are like the two ends of Italy. Sardinia, I think, is in the south. Tropical storm Nepartak approaching Japan, and the landfall is expected close to Sendai in the Tohoku region. This is the 8th named storm sorry about that. Named storm of the 2021 Pacific typhoon season, and it is heading towards the eastern coast of Honshu in Japan. Landfall is expected in an area close to Sendai City in Tohoku region around midnight, and that would have been 2 days ago. It probably already did. We will find out soon enough. Let's send them love and light and sunshine. Nice, beautiful, sunny weather to Japan. Speaking of sunny weather, it's getting cold because the sun is completely down and my cat is completely ignoring the rule. She knows better. But the porch light is on. I think she thinks that might buy her time. Let me call for her. Meowers! Meow! Come home, girl, it's time. I have to have her home because I'm going to go out for pizza, and I want to make sure she's going to be here waiting for me when I get home. I want to make sure she's safe. Also, I don't want her to walk through the streets to go get the pizza with me. She might follow me. And I don't need her to walk 3-4 blocks away. I want her to stay closer to home. She has had a habit of going into the neighbor's yard lately, so send love and light and prayers and protection energy to my cat so that she doesn't eat something the neighbors give her and that she doesn't get poisoned. I'm worried about that. Even though I did feed her fish before I let her out. I said, it's Fish Friday, let's do it. We're not Catholic, but I'm going to give you fish on Friday anyway. All right. Strong eruption at Sinabung volcano. Ash up to 7 kilometers high, 23,000 feet above sea level. And this is in Indonesia. And this report here says that the aviation color code was raised to red. According to Sinabung Volcanic Observatory, the eruption lasted for 12 minutes. Wow, that's massive. It's pretty crazy picture too. So much ash in the air. Let's send love and light to the people who have asthma and all the people of Indonesia that are near the Sinabung volcano. And maybe some gentle rain to knock that ash out of the air. More than 200 people were killed after heavy rains in Maharashtra, India. Wow. So heavy rains and resulting floods and landslides affected the Indian state of Maharashtra since the 21st of July, and it claimed 207 lives and left 7 people missing. Wow. The state government said on Tuesday. The worst hit district is Raigad with 95 fatalities. Damn. Let's send love and light, especially to all the people who lost their loved ones due to inclement weather, i.e. apocalypse, Armageddon weather in India. That's nuts. Love and light there in sunshine, sunny sunshine. Send that to Maharashtra, India. Extreme rainfall in Hainan has claimed 71 lives, affecting 1.3 million people, and damaged 2.4 million acres of crops in China. That's 972,000 hectares of crops. So extremely heavy rains affected China's Henan province over the past 10 days, caused massive damage. 71 people died. The storm dropped a year's worth of rain in just 3 days. Can you believe that? In just 3 days. And they got a record-breaking total of 201.9 millimeters, otherwise known as 7.9 inches, in just 1 hour. Wow. So they got a year's worth of rain in 3 days, and the record-breaking part of this is almost 8 inches of rain in an hour. That is insane. That is over the province's capital, Zhengzhou. Wow. And 12.9 million people were affected in 150 counties. This is major. Love and light and sunshine. Lots of sunshine to China right now. This is crazy. They say that nearly the annual average is... the capital city recorded 24.2 inches of rain, and this is nearly the annual average of 25.5 inches in a whole year. And they got it just in 3 days. This is a level seen only once in 1,000 years, according to the local meteorologist. That's insane, guys. This is the Armageddon. This is the apocalypse. What do these words mean? We go over them quite often so you know, because they sound so scary. You hear these words and you go, oh my God. But what does it mean? Break it down. Apocalypse means the lifting of the veil. How can you lift the veil unless you're in crisis? and then the veil lifts up, and then you're like, okay, I see a much bigger picture to this world now. I see more. I'm a multidimensional being, not just itty bitty little human weakling that's gonna die, and I don't know what's happening after that. We're multidimensional beings, so that's the lifting the veil. That's what the apocalypse is. Armageddon means the end of one world and the beginning of another one. So basically, God's doing this, tearing down this world, tearing us a new one. I mean, building up a new one. I mean, oh my God, let's send lots of love and light and sunshine to China. Record-breaking heat wave has hit Hokkaido in Japan. Lots of Asian news. Wow. An unprecedented heat wave is sweeping over Hokkaido, Japan, with numerous all-time records falling almost every day. The very high temperatures are expected to continue over the next 2 weeks or 14 days. So that's also pretty crazy. All right, I went to look at what is the heat wave. Is it 100, 120? My God, how hot is it in Japan? And so far, the biggest number I'm seeing is 97.7 degrees Fahrenheit. That's just a normal day in LA. But they're not used to it in Japan, so people are probably a little concerned. But it's not... I mean, it could be deadly if you're not used to it and then you get dehydrated. But I'm like, that's Los Angeles weather. I mean, it's not Los Angeles weather in the winter time, but it's probably hotter than that in LA right now, because they're having a heat wave there too. Heat waves are all over the world right now. It's kind of crazy. All right, unseasonal. Well, before we get going, we're going to send Hokkaido, Japan, love and light, maybe gentle rain and cooler temperatures, because that's harder on the older people. So let's send them lots of love. And it's hard on everyone when that, in the 90s, like if you don't have air conditioners because you don't normally need it, that's really uncomfortable emotionally and physically. So let's send them gentle rains and lowering of the temperatures a little bit. Unseasonal rainstorms have hit Yemen, claiming at least 14 lives. At least 14 people have been killed over the past couple days after unseasonable rainstorms hit the majority of Yemen's southern governorates. At least 1,000 households are now in need of basic services, including 90 families in the Marib area. So, and anyway, just a bunch of people, and it says 400, but then it cuts off, so I don't know what that means. Anyway, let's send them love and light and a lot of sunshine to Yemen, and let's send prayers to the people who lost their loved ones in these rainstorms. A strong explosive eruption has taken place at Stromboli volcano in Italy. This strong explosive eruption took place at Stromboli at 14:47 UTC time on July 28th, which is just 2 days ago. The explosion was energetically more intense than usual, according to INGV-OE. I don't know what that means, so your guess is as good as mine. Volcanic products were radially dispersed in the crater area, with fallout along the Sciara del something. Okay, basically Stromboli volcanic region, Italy. They've been having these things for a while, so let's send them love and light, especially if anyone's in the area, and extra gentle energy to people with asthma, and may everybody be wearing their masks, which we all should be anyway. A massive 8.2 earthquake, holy moly, that is huge, hit near the coast of Alaska with tsunami warnings issued. Oh my God. And it's a massive shallow earthquake registered by the USGS as magnitude 8.2. It hit near the coast of Alaska. The agency is reporting a depth of 32.2 kilometers or 20 miles. Thank God it wasn't 6 miles. I mean, that would have leveled all of Alaska. Jeez. An EMC EMSC is reporting a magnitude 8.2 at the depth of 30 kilometers or 18.6 miles. So practically the same. This is the strongest earthquake. This is the strongest earthquake in the world since the magnitude 8.2 off the coast of Fiji on August 19th, 2018. So it's been 3 years since we've had an earthquake this big. We've had bigger ones. Mexico City has had several 10, like 10.2, 10.6, as has Armenia. Remember their big quake in I think the 80s or the 90s. So the epicenter was located 90.9 kilometers or 56.5 miles east-southeast of Perryville, Alaska in the U.S. There's about 400 people living within 62 miles. They felt very strong shaking, and 25,000 people felt light shaking. 1,000 people had moderate shaking. 2,000 people had very strong shaking. So let's send them love and light and the energy of not shaking, I suppose. It's a good thing they call earthquakes. Sometimes they're quite scary, and they have you shaking and quaking in your boots, let me tell you. I lived through a 6.8. They said it was a 7.2, and then they downgraded it to a 6.8 eventually. And it's crazy, Northridge being in that quake. That was devastating emotionally to be through that, to go through something like that big. I lived literally on top of the epicenter. Like, they pinpointed the epicenter to, like, the center of the road at the end of my block. It was just like, whoa, it was trippy. I can't imagine what this one felt like. I mean, if anyone was there, their world just turned upside down. When the ground beneath you shakes and quakes like that, it is scary as hell. Because you just don't know, you just don't feel solid or safe anymore. That will lift the veil. Right quick, that will lift the veil. So let's send them love and light and warm hugs for anyone who has PTSD from that. So in the Mariana Islands, the increased seismicity at the Pagan volcano. I've never heard of this one. Pagan volcano. The aviation color code was raised to yellow. Local residents are reporting increased seismicity and light emissions from the Pagan volcano. This sounds like a magical problem or a magical ritual. Light emissions from the Pagan volcano in the North Mariana Islands. And they promptly raised the aviation color code to yellow, of course, they being USGS and NMI. And the last eruption that they had was 2012. That's just too good, that knowledge, right? That is pretty crazy. Let's send love and light and an energy of calm to the people. And I hope that nobody is anywhere near that volcano, because it looks like she's getting ready. She's getting ready to blow. Flood flow at Buller River, the largest in New Zealand since 1926. Flood flows on the Buller River were the largest of any river in New Zealand in almost 100 years, according to the measurements given out by NIWA. Mike O'Driscoll of the NIWA Environmental Monitoring used radar. He's a technician. He used radar to measure the speed at the surface of the river. And what he concluded was the measurements gave a flow of 2,328 feet cubed per second, or 7,640 meters cubed per second. This is now the largest direct measurement of river flow ever made in New Zealand. So my God, let's send everybody in New Zealand love and light, and also the energy of sunshine and warm hugs. Like, that's really crazy. I hope that everybody over there is safe. I paused it just for a moment to check out the rest of that sentence, right? And when I had it paused, the local church started firing off its cannons again. And the 7:26 p.m. bell started going off because, they're having church on Friday at the Catholic Church. I mean, a couple times a day they have these bells going off, and it sounds like someone's like ringing, like it's a hand bell that they're ringing. They're like with a clapper in it. It's old fashioned. It's really crazy. It's like I can see the church from here. It's like 2 blocks from here, and it's a block away from the pizza place. So I have to walk by the church 1 block to go get the pizza that I have every week. But usually they have the evangelical church sets up in the street across from the Catholic Church and competes sound-wise with them. They put massive loudspeakers towards the open door of the Catholic Church. It is one of the craziest things I've ever seen. It's like, it's like dueling banjos, but it's churches and philosophies. It's one of the craziest things I've seen here. Usually that's Saturday night. Saturday night church. It's so crazy. But anyway, you guys missed it. It makes me jump every time that cannon goes off. It's crazy. It's so freaking loud. Anyway, prolonged monsoon rains have brought widespread floods to the Philippines. These are the monsoons, man. Now, they continue to affect the Philippines, leading to casualties and damage. And more than 570,240 people were affected across the country of the Philippines. And this is according to the Disaster Response Operations Monitoring and Information Center. So let's send them love and light and sunshine to the Philippines right now. Storm Evert to hit southern UK with an unseasonably strong winds and heavy rain. A low pressure system approaching the United Kingdom on Thursday, the 29th of July, has been named Storm Evert by the UK Met Office. This is the UK's first storm to be named in July. The storm will bring some high winds along the northern coast especially. So let's send love and light and sunshine to southern UK. And hopefully everyone's going to be on alert if they have to evacuate. More than 300,000 people have been stranded after severe floods have hit the Bangladesh-Myanmar border. This is already a strained region because people are trying to take over the region from various countries, I think including China, if I remember what my friend told me. He lives there. I think it was China, he said, and maybe even India are trying to take over the region. I think they have gold or some sort of resources there. That maybe it's oil. I don't know. It's crazy. I don't think oil. I think it's gold. Anyway, severe flooding has caused 20 people to die, more than 300,000 stranded. So this is where they are now having problems also with refugees from Myanmar. There's over 1 million Rohingya refugees there. So this is crazy. So they have 1 million refugees, 300,000 people are stranded. They have to deal with this somehow. I don't know. Let's just send them love and light and sunshine. Not much else we can do other than that. So God bless the people of all these regions, because they're going through some hard stuff right now. At least 150 fatalities have been recorded after severe floods hit Afghanistan's Nuristan province. Severe floods and mud flows caused by heavy rainfall left 150 people dead in the northeastern portion of Afghanistan on the 28th of July. The worst affected area was a mountainous Nuristan province in the eastern part of the country, particularly in the Kamdesh district. So let's send love and light and sunshine to Afghanistan in the Nuristan province. Massive damage after cloud burst hits Islamabad in Pakistan. 3 days of heavy rainfall in northern Pakistan caused severe flash flooding in parts of the capital, which is Islamabad, and surrounding areas on the 28th. 2 people have died at least, and the heaviest rains fell from 5 to 6:30 PST time, so basically in the morning. Pakistan Standard Time, maybe? I don't know. In just a few hours, it was just like this massive, I mean, it shows cars skidding across like what looks like a lake or a river. So severe flash flooding. Let's send love and light and sunshine to Islamabad in Pakistan. Or maybe it's Pakistan. I don't know how they say it with their accent. I know how I say it, and I think it's wrong, so my apologies to the people of that region. Large landslide takes out a part of the Highway 707 in Himachal Pradesh, India. A massive landslide took out a stretch of the national highway in the remote Shilai subdivision of the Sirmar district. So let's send them love and light and sunshine. Frigid polar air has brought very rare snowfall and icy rains to southern Brazil. Wow. A fierce cold snap brought rare snow, icy rain, and strong winds to parts of southern Brazil on the 29th and 30th. The event comes after several waves of destructive frost. Remember, we talked about that last week, according to the weather specialist at Sumar Meteorologia. So 40 cities were affected by this. That's crazy. Snow in Brazil. That is crazy. And the way they're drawing the land, it looks like a big penis dangling down. It's too early for weird news. Let's just move on to the next and final story. Strong and shallow magnitude 6.1 earthquake hits Peru at the Ecuadorian border region. And that's where I live, and I didn't feel anything. That's where, although, when was it? Let's see, on the 30th. Oh, that was today. No, I didn't feel it. So, local time around noon. Oh, that's probably what woke me up. That's exactly the time I woke up at 12:10. That's weird. Well, it wasn't enough to affect me here, but yeah, okay, the Peruvian-Ecuadorian border, that's where we get most earthquakes down here. So yeah, of course we'd... That's literally what woke me up today. That cracks me up. I wondered why I woke up, because there's nothing. There was no sound. There's nothing. Usually it's like a saw or hammering or, marching bands. But no, I only got 6 hours of sleep, and that's why. It was the earth itself, Mother Earth Gaia, waking me up. Elena, get out of bed already. Strong and shallow, magnitude 6.0. So, the agency of USGS, they reported a depth of 33.2 kilometers or 20.6 miles. And the EMSC is reporting a magnitude 6.2 at a depth of 30 miles or 49 kilometers. So they're saying it was deeper, but also stronger. So that's crazy. I didn't even feel that. That is quite strange. Authorities there raised the level to the alert to yellow for shaking related fatalities to occur. So it's not terrible, but it's possible. So love and light and calm energy. It's just north of Piura. I've been through there in the northern portion of Peru. And a lot of people, within 62 miles, it's like almost 400,000 people in every direction, 62 miles away. So, all right, we're going to pause this for a minute. I'm going to go look for some weird news because we deserve it after all those prayers we just prayed. All right, we haven't visited news.sky.com for a while in their strange news section, but we're going to do that right now. Cockatoos have worked out how to open bin lids. These are the big trash cans, by watching other people do the trick. So that's interesting. This is, of course, in a region of the world where cockatoos are just the normal birds there. Oh, what a cool place. I want to live there. Do I live there? I don't think I've seen these birds here. I've seen the Amazon rainforest birds here, the beautiful parrots. Well, mostly in the Amazon region, but that's really strange. I think that's pretty cool. Cockatoos, they're very smart. Very smart indeed. All right, there was slow moving traffic as a cow wandered onto the M6 motorway. Yeah, I could see that. That would be a problem. Where I live, there's cows wandering around. Cows, horses, dogs, pigs, chickens, roosters, any number of animals just wandering around the highways. So people always have to watch out for the animals. There's a lot of animals up there on the road. A Russian traffic officer with a golden toilet has been arrested after the police have uncovered a massive bribery scheme. Well, of course he has to bribe people so he can keep up his posh golden toilet lifestyle. Speaking of movements, young North Koreans have been ordered to stop speaking, dressing, and dancing like South Koreans or else. That's going to be a little hard. I mean, what language are they going to speak other than Korean? Ba-bum-bump. It's so weird. I don't even, let's just move on. It's fake news, according to an athlete who has been debunking the rumors of the anti-sex cardboard beds in Olympic Village by carrying out a bouncy bounce test. Well, that's pretty cool, I guess. Apparently, Olympic athletes are quite horny. From what I've been hearing from some other news reports, like Stephen Colbert. It's so strange. You know, in the Late Show, they keep talking about this. It's like, why is this the topic? A woman has revealed her horror, not horror, but horror, Horror, as a snake gave birth to 17 babies under her bed. Holy shit, that is the stuff from which nightmares spring. Oh my God. But also, 17 is a magical number. I wonder if her kundalini raised in a hurry. My God, that is crazy. That is crazy. Can you imagine waking up and you hear something weird and you're like, what's that? You look under your bed. Oh my God. I would scream more than 17 times, one for each snake. Oh my God. There's a picture that says creative solution to navigating flooded neighborhood. If you want to go to news.sky.com, you're going to see these videos in the middle of the page. This person has a floaty chair. He's just floating down the street because it's flooded. I mean, seriously, it's time to maybe get our boats ready, just in case. New York, goats have been deployed to tackle invasive plants. We can use a goat in our yard. My landlord just pulled a bunch of vines coming from the neighbor's yard. They were just invading our area, and he has to do this every couple weeks. There's so many vines. I mean, I'm in the jungly area near the beach. And so he has got to take the vines and take them down, and then he just throws the plants over into their yard. It belongs to them anyway, right? Anyway, a bad parking issue. Yeah, I see that. There's a video if you want to watch it. A teenager drives the family car into the pool. Oops. That's not good. There's a nasty surprise as a man gets bitten by a python while sitting on the toilet. Again, the stuff from which my worst nightmares spring. This is crazy. That was when I was a little kid. That was my worst nightmare, is that a snake was going to come up through the toilet and bite me on the ass. That was literally my biggest fear. Well, besides that, and every time I was in the bathtub, if I undid the drain, I was scared I was going to go down with the water, swirl down the drain with the water, and not be able to crawl back up the drain. I mean, that was my other fear as a kid. Those are my two biggest fears. Speaking of weird things. Yeah, that's crazy. I can't even imagine. I cannot even imagine what that was like. So let me load more of these. Oh yes, the proverbial camel on the loose in Oklahoma. Oh God, what is happening in the world? Okay, that's the end of the weird news from this website. So I gotta pause this and find other cool stories for you guys. And so we go to upi.com/odd news. So 6 orphaned kittens rescued from a storm drain in New York. Aw, that's a little weird, but also it's a little cute. Health mystery. Woo. Health officials probe a mystery bug bite that has been happening to people throughout Virginia County. I don't know what Virginia. There's a lot of Virginia counties. I don't know what country, let alone what state. But these mystery bug bites look suspiciously like the animal attack I have been sustaining on a daily basis since I got my cat. Oh my God. I looked at my arm today. It looks like she bit me in a diamond-shaped pattern. Is she trying to tell me something? Is this a weird cat alien abduction? I don't know. I literally have the outline of her teeth in a pattern. Like she tries to do the alligator death roll with my arm. It's really horrible. It's a cute thing, but also it hurts. It hurts. Former New York resident was reunited with his class ring after 46 years due to a metal detecting hobbyist and owner of a matchmaking company in New York. So probably not the kind of matchmaking this person expected to do that week, but that'll do. That's actually quite cool. Now this person has his ring, he'll have it forever, unlike most matches that are made. A police department in Texas had shared body camera footage from a capture of an alligator that was found swimming naked in a hot tub without any regard at all to the owner's wishes. It was trespassing in a resident's hot tub. Yeah, that's not something. Are there alligators in Texas normally? I have never heard of that. But I mean, there's also, camels in Oklahoma now, so who the fuck knows what's going on in this world. And speaking of animals, there is a llama in Ontario, so there you go. There's even more animals completely out of place. A llama on the lam runs loose through Ontario communities. And he's spotted wandering through the residential neighborhoods. Well, he's just looking for someone to spit on, obviously. Llamas. Llamas are actually really sweet until that moment in which they spit in your eye. Just like my cat is very sweet until she decides to alligator death roll my arm. Yeah, okay. Maryland man reels in a 301-pound swordfish after an 8-hour struggle. Wow, he does not have to hit the gym for another 3 days. 301-pound swordfish. And he earned a state record. That's great. Swordfish taste delicious, but it makes me very sad. I used to go to Catalina Island, and when people would catch swordfish, I would look into the swordfish's eyes as they struggled, and I just felt so bad. I would just send them love and light. It made me always so sad. Although it didn't stop me or prevent me from wanting to eat swordfish later, but it did make me give a lot of love to the swordfish spirit that may or may not have been hanging around. Usually animal spirits don't hang around. Sometimes they do. The larger life animals tend to come around and they want to hang out and see, who ate their body, what's going on. It's kind of weird. I'm the Archangel of Death. I talk about the weirdest shit. Sorry about that, guys. All right. I don't know what this means. UPI, News Quiz, Gymnastics Gold, Wu-Tang Clan, and the CDC. I don't know what this is about, but it says Team USA Gymnastics wins a gold medal. Huzzah! Good for them. The Justice Department sells a one-of-a-kind Wu-Tang Clan album. What are they doing with the Justice Department? Like, why is the album with them? You know, maybe because it confiscated during a drug bust or something. Maybe it was signed, or I don't know. I don't even want to know. That's so weird. So then the rest of the stuff is just boring. That's not weird news. They put it in the wrong section. Let's move on. Police officer rescues a raccoon. Aww, with a can stuck over its head. Aw. All right, well, a police officer in New York had to chase down a panicking raccoon just so he could rescue the animal because it had a can stuck over its head. Well, don't we all? Usually on a Friday night. Speaking of drinking things, a Dutch driver uses his truck to dunk tea bag into hot water. What? A Dutch trucker took on a social media tea bag challenge to use his vehicle to drop a tea bag into a glass of hot water. You know, people have way the hell too much time on their hands. And how's that going to work anyway? I mean, to make the perfect cup of tea, you have to dunk that thing 33 times. I've counted, being a Virgo and bored and having spent a lot of time alone in the past couple of years because, you know, the pandemic and whatnot. All right, so pilots in Los Angeles have been warned after a possible sighting of a man wearing a jetpack. Oh, that's rich. That is rich. This is LAX, LA International Airport. They were giving warnings because there was a possible sighting of a man wearing a jetpack and flying around the area. That would really and truly ruin your whole fucking day. Oh, if you're on an airplane and a man in a jetpack buzzes by you, that would be funny until it wasn't. You know, I mean, that could cause some serious damage. You know, just it's just too weird. An overdue library book was returned to the Scottish Library after 53 years. Wow, that's been checked out longer than I've been checked into this body. Wow. So workers at a Scottish library said they were surprised to open a package that arrived recently in the mail, and then they discovered it was an overdue book. It was checked out 53 years ago. Yeah, I think I would be a chicken shit too if I had a library book that old. I mean, you don't want to incur the wrath of the librarians ever. I just, no. I mean, it's going to be more than a shh. I mean, they silence you in a whole different way, I think. I just worry. I would be worried. California restaurant hires a robot to offset worker shortage. You know what? Somebody that I've been talking to recently told me that there is a worker shortage, and even like Kentucky Fried Chicken and all the fast food restaurants are starting to offer a lot more money to work there because they can't get anyone to work there. This is what should have happened all along. People should have refused to work there because of the lack of high pay. That's crazy, but now they're hiring robots to pick up the slack. That's even more disturbing, I think. A TikTok star has earned a Guinness Book of World Record. She's from Connecticut, and it's because her mouth is so freaking large. She has the largest mouth gape in the world. Oh my God. I think her soulmate must be the guy with the largest ears, right? Or maybe the opposite. Maybe the opposite's true. The guy with the smallest ears in the world, because her loud mouth, I mean big mouth, I'm assuming it's a loud mouth. That's a huge cavern. You should see this picture. My God. Her mouth gape is 2.56 inches. I don't know. Are they measuring it across? It looks like 4 inches from this picture. Oh my God, that is insane. The TikTok star. I don't know. How do you measure that? I'm going to measure my mouth gape later. List on things to do. Ways to avoid work. Ways to avoid interacting with other humans. Measure mouth gape. Note to self. Police have responded to a loose bison in the Ohio township. Okay, well that's weird, but not as weird. I mean, bison, they're from the U.S. originally. They were already there. This is very, very weird. An escaped bison was spotted wandering around a community. So the police in Ohio, I wonder if my friend in Ohio, have you seen a bison? I've eaten bison burgers. Now my mouth waters. I look at the picture of the bison. I'm like, oh man, bison burgers are really good with the right barbecue sauce. Ooh, sorry. Should not have been thinking that. That's like it's not someone's pet probably. It's probably from a farm and, that's crazy. Oh my God. An oblivious lottery winner in Germany, a woman in Germany, she won a lottery jackpot of $39 million, carried the ticket around in her purse for 6 weeks, not even knowing. Oh my God, when you go to clean out your purse and you're like, oh, might as well check it. I probably didn't win. And then, oh my God, $39 million. Yeah, check your lottery tickets immediately, guys. Don't forget. Oh my God. So a sheriff's canine, basically the dog, found a woman's missing wedding ring in Michigan in the beach sand. Of course, Michigan is nowhere near an ocean, but the Great Lakes are there, and the beaches are like beaches with actual sand, and that's pretty cool. So a woman visiting a beach lost her wedding rings in the sand, and a dog sniffed them out. So cute. Well, that we're gonna end on a cute note. I think that's pretty cool. That's very sweet, and what a sweet dog. Probably helps his owner do the dishes. I love helping animals. I mean, when animals are helping us. Oh my God. Well, see, here's that throat chakra thing we were talking about earlier. I am going to go down and get some pizza now, and I hope that you guys have a lovely, lovely weekend. I love each and every one of you, and I want to say thank you for being on the spiritual journey with each other and with me. I'm glad we're all in it together. We're in it to win it, guys. We're going to hit the 5th dimension really soon. So that's it. That's all she wrote. This is the end of another week of Metaphysical Soul Speak, the podcast. And I said that right at 55 minutes and 55 seconds. Again, for those of you looking at the angel numbers. And by the way, when I ended the first half of the show, I had a 99% charge. And it was at... There was something, 6 came up. I don't know. Now I can't remember. Maybe it was 5:55. Yeah, I ended it at 5:55. So here it is again with 5:55. That means that balance, we've achieved harmony and balance and big changes. Newness is coming along. So expect new things this weekend, guys. I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much. And for those of you who wish to have a reading done, I can do channeling of anybody, your relatives that have gone on before you. I could channel God for you, your higher self, anyone you wish to speak with. Or I've been doing past life readings lately. Apparently, I've been able to tap into the Akashic Records, and that's pretty cool. So anything that you guys need, even tarot cards, oracle cards, love readings, twin flame questions, anything you want to know about, let me know. DM me, direct message me at mermaidgirl888. That is on Instagram, or write me mermaidgirl888 on gmail.com. If I don't get back to you right away, it's because I didn't see it. Write it again. resend it. Same thing with metaphysicalsoulspeak@gmail.com. I don't always look at my email, and sometimes I forget. The best way to get in touch with me, Instagram, mermaidgirl888. So if you want a reading, let me know. I do accept PayPal, and that's it. That's all she wrote for the week. Have a lovely weekend, guys. I love you so much. I will be back on Monday to read the Aquarian Gospel of Jesus the Christ, starting with chapter 1, because last week we only got through the very interesting introduction. That blew a lot of people's minds, so you're not going to want to miss this book. This book is mind-blowing, and it is not a religious thing. It is absolutely, the Aquarian Gospel of Jesus the Christ it's from the Akashic Records directly. It's not a religious book. So I just want to let you guys know. Yeah, all right, that's it. I'll be back on Monday with all unique and original programming, just like always. But until then, I am signing off with peace and joy and the high vibes of the holy fifth dimension. Until next time, guys, peace. Metaphysical Soul Speak is run on sponsors and listener support. This means listeners like you. If you are so inclined to support my efforts and my little podcast, please visit me at anchor.fm/metaphysical and pledge an amount of your choosing today. Thank you.